Howdy, my name is John Whetzel. I am the chairperson of the Rio Grande IGDA and co-founder of the New Mexico Game Jam. On behalf of all the organizers, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for coming out and participating this weekend. I couldn't be more excited about this event. It seems like every time we do it, it keeps getting bigger and better. This is the third year that we've done it, and this year we now have 4 physical locations. We have 1 in Albuquerque, 1 in Santa Fe, and now 2 in Las Cruces. This year we're predicting somewhere on the order of about 100 participants working simultaneously on making some awesome games this weekend. So the amount of excitement that this event generates, it makes me very humbled to be a part of it, but as well as makes me very proud to kind of be a part of this aspiring and growing game development community that we have here in the state. And before we get started, I'd like to thank quite a few folks that helped put together this event. First and foremost, we have to thank our site coordinators, Teri Farley, Matt Byrnes, Derek Fisher, and Stephen Bohannon. They've been instrumental in helping put this event together, and I can't thank them enough for their patience as well in dealing with me for kind of the past 2 months trying to get this thing together. So thank you so much. As well, we need to thank Eric Renz-Whitmore of New Mexico Tech Council and Rachel Nichol of Rio Grande SIGGRAPH. These two have helped out not only with the New Mexico Game Jam, but a lot of the events that transpire across the state that deal with game development. This year we also get to thank our Kickstarter backers, or New Mexico Game Jam groupies. They ended up raising nearly $1,500 to help us with this event. And so that goes a long way with regards to supporting this activity. So hopefully you have a pretty kick-ass spread of food, I hope, and you should be getting some pretty awesome t-shirts at the end of this deal. And those shirts coming from Simply One Stop Press here in Albuquerque. This year we also wanted to try something different with regards to the opening of the event. So we have this video, but we also wanted to do kind of a keynote video. We wanted to find someone from the New Mexico game development community who had been around for a while and could probably give either some advice to folks who've never done a game jam before, and hopefully give some insight and inspiration to folks who've done this many times in the past. This year, our keynote speaker is Nihlen. I met Luke in 2005 when I first moved here to Albuquerque. Prior to that, Luke had been working tirelessly in helping promote game development in Albuquerque. He had founded his own company, 10th Artists, as well as served as instructor at UNM and various schools on game design and game development. Him and I worked together with a group of other folks in putting together the founding group for the IGDA chapter here in Albuquerque. And from that, we ended up spinning off quite a few game development events. Luke was the leader of the 2009 Global Game Jam team that came out of New Mexico. And from that, we ended up talking about doing something here within the state. I think we were just too excited and too giddy and too delirious from our experience at the Global Game Jam, and we just couldn't wait to do it again. And so with the help of Eric Renz-Whitmore, we ended up founding the New Mexico Game Jam, which hosted about 10 people in a single room here in Albuquerque. And from that, this event is now perpetuated and grown to what it is now. And so it makes me very proud to know Luke and kind of be a part of these kind of events with him. So unfortunately, Luke has moved on to bigger and better things. He's been sucked into the Googleplex, but his roots are still here in New Mexico. And so when I asked him to do this, I was very grateful that he quickly agreed to be a part of the Game Jam in this capacity. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our keynote video coming from my friend and also kind of my weird doppelganger, Nihlen.
Hello and welcome to the Rio Grande IGDA Game Jam. My name is Luke Nihlen, and I was asked to talk a little bit about maybe giving some advice that could help you have a successful game jam. And when I first thought about what I would tell you, I was tempted to kind of rehash some of the stuff that they talk about in setting up game jams, about making sure that there are good mechanics in place for people to collaborate, because teamwork's really important on these things, and also to allow people to kind of already hit the ground running, at the beginning of it with maybe an engine or some tools or something in place so that it's easy to get content into a game and it's easy to realize a game design. And those are all awesome things. But, the more I thought about it, the more I thought I would just, instead of bore you with a lecture about my opinions about video game development, that I would just give you a simple insight, which is that I think that the Game Jam is a great opportunity to really think on a different path than the games industry itself is on right now, in the sense that typical games, big AAA titles nowadays, take years to develop and cost a lot of money and take hundreds and hundreds of people working on them in order to get satisfactory results. And here you are at a game jam which completely turns that philosophy of game design and game development on its ear. You have a small number of people, very limited or no budget, and a weekend. So what kind of game can you come up with? And I think that you can look at those sort of constraints that you have of time, people, and money, and use them as a chance to do something that you can't normally do in the games industry, which is be really creative in the game design area. You're looking at a low investment to make a game, a weekend of time, and so that you can be bold here. I would encourage you to try radical approaches to game design and new unproven ideas, because at the end you're out a weekend. Even if the game is a flop and isn't any fun, you still had a good time this weekend, I hope. And learned something, I hope, and had a result that is conclusive. So I would really encourage you to try to think of those constraints as strengths, and to really pursue the biggest idea, because it's cheap and fast to come up with wild new game ideas. That nobody has a problem doing that generally. It's generally the making part that is so hard. So I'm really excited that you've come to this game jam. I think it's an awesome thing to do. I think it's awesome to try out new ideas in game design and game jams, and I think it's awesome to make games in New Mexico, and so this is a great combination. And I really look forward to playing your finished results. Thank you.
Okay, now we're about ready to start the jam. This year, the New Mexico Game Jam will accept both digital and non-digital game submissions. So follow the instructions of your site coordinator to figure out how to put together your submission package for your team. At the end of the Game Jam on Sunday, each site will host a demonstration session. These demonstration sessions will be open to the public to allow the community to come in and see what kind of games get created over the course of the weekend. Now, for those who can't be there, all games that are coming out of the New Mexico Game Jam will be published online on our website at www.nmgamejam.org. So now every game that gets created during the New Mexico Game Jam has to be designed around 3 theme words. And so these words were generated by Carolyn Miller, who's known for her work in screenwriting as well as writing for video games. She generated a candidate pool of words that fell into 3 categories: a noun, an adjective, and a verb. So prior to the start of the jam, we choose a word at random from each of the categories, and that becomes the theme word set for the jam. This year, as part of our Kickstarter program, we offered anyone the opportunity to pick one of the words from a category if they donated $500 to the New Mexico Game Jam. I'm happy to report we actually had one person take us up on this offer. So all the way from Australia, Joshua Beale graciously donated and will be choosing this year's verb. So on behalf of all organizers for the Game Jam, I thank all of you for coming out. and I wish you all the best of luck and hope you have a great jam and make some pretty kick-ass games over the weekend. And so to kick things off, introducing the verb for this year's game jam is Joshua Beale. So take it away, Josh.
I'm Joshua, and this video is to introduce the verb theme word. The word is turquoise. Actually, the word is deceive. It fell off the back of a truck. Only one owner, a little old lady who drove it to the shops once a week. I want all of you, deceive right now. Are you sure indie game devs really need caviar and champagne?